Hi everyone, and welcome back to another very special episode of Dead Men Talk. And this one's got a little bit more of a sort of a different flavor, which I'm really excited about. So I get to welcome a rap and R&B artist in his own right, but also producer and CEO of his own music label as well. Known early on for his work with the 3-6 Mafia. I bring to you Scanman. How you doing, my friend?
Man, I'm doing good, man. How you doing, brother? Thanks for having me.
No, my pleasure. My pleasure. I was when I got asked to sort of, if I would want to bring you on, I jumped at the chance because I must admit I haven't had anyone from your sort of musical background on here before. If I start off, I'm obviously I probably don't look like the typical sort of rap and R&B listener. I'm more of a heavy metal fan myself, but
What is it?
I did sort of way back when I was growing up in my teenage years, I did get into rap and R&B as well, before I found metal. So it's going to be really good for me to kind of hear from your side of the industry, I suppose, put a new kind of spin on it. So,
well, to let you know, let me say this first. Well, I'm actually not an R&B singer because I don't sing. So
okay.
I'm mostly a rap, but rock and heavy metal, I'm into like real heavy. You know what I mean? Like Tool and Marilyn Manson and what I'm saying, and all those cats like that. Yeah, I rock with them.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, further down, I was aiming to there'll be a certain section where I go into sort of the metal rap crossover. So we'll come back to that. But that's really great to know because artists I'm very into. One of my regrets, I had the opportunity to see Tool play at a festival over here that I was actually at. But
I'm jealous. I'm jealous, man. I'm jealous.
Well, so am I because I never made it to it. I decided it was my first time at a festival. It was all a little bit much for me at the time, and so I ducked out of the main event, as it were, and I never saw him.
You missed the show. Those guys put show, man. They entertain.
Yeah, and I've come to. I wasn't massively into them then. I think I had friends who were. So I'd heard a few things now, but I got into them. Ironically, I got into them big afterwards, and I was just like,
I love.
Cool. Well, we'll come back to that then. What a great place to start, really. Not to sort of start off with a song or anything, but a great place to start is at the beginning. So if we go right back to I guess your childhood, your upbringing, where in terms of music, what was your story in terms of discovering music, and what was it that you became a fan of first? Were there any early influences back then?
Yeah, my early influences, I would say I was probably around about a good 9-10 years old. That's when the Sugar Hill Gang, LL Cool J and Run MC, EPMD and all those cats was out. But then I got a taste of the Memphis scene when Gangsta Pat and Scarface, Al Capone, when cats from my city was actually doing it. You know what I mean? So it influenced me more because I was like, hey, if they can do it, and I'm from the same city, I know I can do it too. So they had a lot of influence on me, as far as wanting to get into the music and I had a lot of other influences too. Big other influences. Michael Jackson is one, Prince another one. You can't forget it. Those are icons. You know what I mean? So
Michael Jackson, I spent probably when I was about, 8 years old through to when I was about 15. I was a massive Michael Jackson fan.
Exactly. He is a Michael Jackson fan.
Who isn't? Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I used to ask my sister and my mum, I used to try and dance like him around the house and everything.
I think we all did. I had the glove, I had the beaded jacket, thriller jacket. I had all of it. All of it.
Did you ever try the Smooth Criminal anti-gravity lean like the rest of us?
Yeah, and I think I bust my ass too trying it.
Again, who hasn't? There we go. Yeah. So when you started out then, or obviously growing up, how old were you when you discovered that you wanted to make your own music in some way?
At that point, I was 15, 15, 16 when I really started to wanted to get into it. You know, me and my little friends used to play around in the little basement, you know, with the little 4-track, you know, things like that. But I actually recorded my first song with the first person I was with. His name was DJ Fila. Rest in peace. You know, he's dead now. But DJ Fila and DJ Rod was the first 2 DJs who I got with that I recorded my first song with. And after that, right there, man, I was like, I had to be in somebody's studio every day, every minute. You know what I mean?
How easy was it to find a place to record that? Were there places sort of nearby? Did you have to go traveling to find them, or?
Nah, it wasn't easy to find like no good studio. A good studio, you know, you had to pay some good money to get in. You know what I mean? So it took a lot of us, you know, grinding, doing stuff in the streets to get a little money just to get into the studio, just to make, you know, fulfill our craft. So, you know, it was hard. It was real hard. You know, in order for us to make good quality music that we wanted to make, we couldn't do it on the 4-track.
No, okay.
even though we made a lot of money off them 4-tracks, but you know, to get in the big leagues, you got to step your game up.
Got you. And sort of talking of the earlier work that you got to put out there. I mean, was it solo stuff? Were you in a group? Where did the 3-6 Mafia come into it as well? How far down the line were they?
Well, actually, I came along with them in 90, 94, 95.
Oh, okay.
And at that point, you know, we was called 666 Mafia.
Right.
And it was like probably 30 of us. You know what I mean? Yeah. We was deep. I mean, cause we was all from different sides, you know, from South Memphis, North Memphis, West. You know, we was all from different sides. But you know, Paul and Juicy, which was the masterminds, which they are some very smart individuals. You know, they was like, hey, we need to break this up. You know, can't 30 people make a whole lot of money? You know what I mean? So, you know, they broke us up in different sections and groups and stuff. So they put me, Mac, and K-Rock in the Killer Clan Kazi, which was the Kazi, and which later on, K-Rock got replaced with Project Pat. So, and then it just became 3-6 Mafia, the Kazi. Then we had Skinny Pimp. Then Gangsta Boo, she was a solo artist, even though she was in 3-6, and Cool, he was a solo artist, and you know, people like that, and Gangsta Black, you know, T-Rock, you know.
Wow, that's a lot of people to be kind of bouncing ideas off. Did you tend to come up with your own stuff, and you know, you each kind of take a part of that? Did you work together? What was the dynamic like?
I mean, our dynamic, everybody wrote their own stuff. But you know, we was all in the studio together, so we all bounced it off each other. You know what I mean? So one person might come up with a word, and then the next person might can fill in the rest of it, and then hey, we get behind the booth and just do what we do, and then it come out to a hit. So you know, that's pretty much how it went.
You make it sound so easy. You know, I'm sure it's not. Or you know, for some people it is, but.
Not easy at all, man. I promise you.
When you got them, you know, similar kind of minds working around you, I suppose it's easy to be inspired in some way.
Yeah. But what makes it easy when you love doing something, you know, when you love doing something, it becomes easy. No matter how hard it may be, it becomes easy because you love doing it and you don't mind doing it. So it's hard. So you know,
it's not a job, is it? I mean, really, I think I've heard other artists say the same, not just musicians, but other forms of artists that I've spoken to. When it becomes a job, that's when the love kind of goes out of it. If you consider it a job, you know, it becomes more of a job.
Exactly.
So, so kind of, I'm going to project my experiences with rap music. Then it's going to be very stereotypical, probably, especially with someone from the UK. So I got into rap when I left school. One friend of mine got me into one artist in particular. Probably you won't need any wild guesses to guess who it was. Eminem. So I got passed along Eminem's Marshall Mathers album along with Dr. Dre's 2001 album. You know, I've been brought up on sort of pop music. I was mainly influenced by my sister listening to things like Backstreet Boys and things like that beforehand. So this was really groundbreaking to me. You know, these were guys who, to me, had something very real to say. And there was more aggression in there, which really spoke to me in terms of teen angst and stuff like that. So, you know, you have obviously started in it, you know, way before that. I know there's different opinions going on about what people like Eminem did in terms of blowing it up more mainstream, maybe, you know, breaking down a few more walls. What's your take on his style, or his and others that followed him, their kind of contribution to this? Are you for it, or were you sort of feeling a little bit like they were coming into your territory almost?
No, I'm all for it, because for the simple fact, you can't stop, or you can't hold back greatness, no matter the color, the race, the size, or whatever a person may be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when it all boils down, he actually brought something to the culture, regardless of him being a white rapper. You know what I mean? Because a lot of blacks look up to him. I mean, he brought a lot to the. He brought a lot. You know, when a lot of people he tried to put on. You didn't see him try to put on a lot of white rappers. You know what I'm talking about? He didn't try to put on a lot of black rappers. He put on whoever came to him that he felt that he could do something with, in a person who felt that they had the same desire to do what it takes to, you know, to be a star. So, you know, they're just like with what's his rapper? He got I can't think of his name.
I don't know. I could help
it'll come to me. It'll come to me. But yeah, Eminem brought a lot to the culture, man. You know, I can't say nothing about his. You know, he got tremendous talent. He got tremendous flow, tremendous wordplay. If you listen to what he say, you know what I mean. He makes sense. He ain't just saying a bunch of bullshit. So, you know, hey, I'm all for it, man. I respect the guy. You know what I mean? I respect his hustle, and I respect his grind. You know what I'm talking about? Because it wasn't easy for him. You know what I mean?
At the end of the day as well, you know, what you say he brought to, you know, to the industry as well. He brought fans who then, you know, through him, like myself, learn more about the others. You know, D12, there were all of them that I would then go off and listen to as well. And obviously Dre and Snoop Dogg and Exhibit and ones like that. You know, I wouldn't have ever discovered them if it wasn't almost for him providing that kind of avenue through for me, I suppose.
Yellow Wolf. That's what I'm talking about. Yellow Wolf. Yeah. Yellow Wolf. I love Yellow Wolf. Yellow Wolf he's bumping. I fuck him. I love him.
I might have to check him out actually. It's not
one that check out Yellow Wolf.
Yellow Wolf, cool. And you touched on the wordplay there. Now this is something I did want to talk to you about actually, because I was fascinated. You know, I mentioned before I came on, I'm a writer. You know, I write horror fiction, children's books, that kind of thing. So I'm fascinated with how people can come up with, you know, words, particularly lyrics. I play the guitar. I've tried my hand at writing songs for the guitar and stuff. But the one thing, when I was in my bedroom, and my wife doesn't make me forget this because she thinks it's got to be one of my most embarrassing things that I've admitted to, but I used to stand in the mirror in my bedroom trying to rap along with Eminem. Firstly, I couldn't keep up with him. Secondly, I really had to break down his lyrics because there's so much in there. It's like, okay. So for someone who does it, how do you go about starting to put a song together, you know, in terms of lyrics and that? Because there are probably 2 or 3 times as many lyrics in one of your tracks as there is in, you know, like a metal song or something like that. You know, so where does it start?
It depends. Different songs come different. It all depends on what, if you know, if I'm listening to a beat, and you know, I may start in the middle of the song. I may come up with the end of the song, or I may come up with the beginning. I rarely come up with the beginning of a song. You know what I mean? Because basically, I'm always writing. I wouldn't say I'm one of those rappers that go in there and freestyle on top of a beat and do this and do that, because I didn't come from that era. I came from the era where we wrote. You know, I'm a writer too. You know what I'm saying? I write little I write stories, I write movies and things like that too as well.
Wow.
So, it just all depends. Sometimes I might get out, I might be dead asleep at 4 o'clock in the morning, and bam, a song come to me, and my studio's right there in the next room. So bam, I jump up and I'm in there doing what I gotta do. So it comes as first. It's music is about it's about an emotion, it's about feelings. And if you're not in the right feeling to write, then just leave it alone till it comes to you.
Hey, I will vouch for that. Yeah,
Yeah,
the amount of times
yeah.
I other writers that I know have beaten ourselves up because there's been days, weeks where we've not done anything and we feel like
Exactly.
we should, and I think the more you force it, you're not going to get almost good stock out of that, are you really?
Yeah, you got to find the substance of what you're wanting to write about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So once you find this substance, it'll go through. It's like once you get that plate in front of you that you want to eat, everything on your plate you want to eat, you go with yourself. So once you get that substance, you'll go with it.
Cool. And
so that's how I approach writing.
That segues really nicely into something else I wanted to ask. Actually, is in terms of what inspires you. Obviously, I'm not expecting there to be just one thing that you draw inspiration from. I mean, you're thinking of the work that you've done so far. What is the are there any main themes, recurring themes that have come through that have inspired you to write?
Yes, there are things that occur in my life every day that inspire me to write, because I try to keep moving every day. Mm-hmm. I try to keep doing something. I try to keep my life exciting. You know what I mean? Because if you're just sitting at home, there's nothing going to happen. You're never going to get inspiration to do anything. No. You have to get out into this wicked world that we're living in, in order to get the inspiration to write, whether it's about love, whether it's about trapping, if you're selling dope, or whatever it is you're doing, you have to get out and you have to do it in order to write about it and make it be genuine.
Cool. As the obvious question here, I hate asking this really, to be fair, but COVID, last couple of years, what has it done to your creativity? Because I know it could have gone either way. I know what it did to mine. It wasn't very good. Have you had fresh inspiration for some things, or did you find it hard, or did it not really affect you at all?
No, to be honest with you, I was kind of, well, I wouldn't say I was glad, but it gave me a chance to sit back and get a perspective on a lot of things. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you're working and going city to city, show to show, this place, that place, only thing is on your mind is work. So you start to forget about family. You start to forget about, the more important things that's in your life than just working all the time. So it gave me a break, you know what I mean? So, and then it gave me new ideas, new stuff to think about. So it did me some good without getting sick. So, and I feel for those who did get sick and those who did, lose their lives to this COVID thing. But I just kept myself sanitized and kept myself quarantined, and and kept the thoughts and the motivation rolling.
Cool. That's all you can do, really, to be fair.
Exactly.
What's it like over there now in terms of the music scene? Are there many restrictions still in place for shows and things like that, or is it all pretty much open?
No, it's opening back up. It's opening back up slowly but surely. A lot of places are like, this is how we need to make our money. So they put like a limit capacity on it. You know what I'm saying? Then a lot of concerts and stuff like that are being held outside. So, we're not constricted to an inside space. And so, things are opening back up. They're opening back up.
Good. And we'll get on to sort of towards the end. We'll talk about what you've got going on, anything that you got in the pipeline or whatever that you want to give a shout out to in terms of, shows and whatever. So we'll circle back to that. But so one, I've sat down and I've listened to some of your stuff, in preparation for this, which has been great for me, really, because it's given me given me a reason to get back into something that I haven't really listened to for years, and I really did enjoy it. It's really, really great stuff. One album in particular, you know, everything about it, even before I put it on, appealed to me. Death Awaits. The imagery on the front, the whole Nephilim sort of imagery of you, and the title, you know, for a horror author, you know, metal fan and that Death Awaits, of course, is going to grab me, you know, grab my interest or whatever. Again, sort of, I guess, going back to the question I just asked, was there anything in particular that went into this album, or was there a particular theme, or is it just sort of an amalgamation of you know, many things you had going on at the time? What lies behind that album in particular?
Well, that album, I had a lot going on at that time. I felt like I had a little bit to prove at that time to myself, not to anyone else, because I feel like I never have to prove anything to anyone else, because the only person can hold you back is you. You know what I'm saying? Can't nobody else hold you back. So the title of it, Death Awaits, was mainly me getting rid of old things, stepping into new things. So that Death Awaits wasn't about killing and dying. It was like a celebration of life. You know what I mean? Stepping into a new being, a new person. And the whole Nephilim thing, people ask me a lot about the Nephilim, which is in the Bible. And people think that the Nephilim were evil, but the Nephilim wasn't necessarily evil. The Nephilim had choices, as the angels didn't have choices. And the Nephilim was the offspring of an angel and a human. So, and when they say that the Nephilim were men of great renown. When you look up the word renown, it means praise, looked upon, worshipped not in a bad way, but you know, a good person. So why would you call a man of renown something evil? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So we all kind of, you know, inspired to or aspire to that, surely, you know, to be that kind of what you just described. So
so it's about strength. It's about rebuilding. It's about having a choice of you know of your life, and taking your life to a place where you can take it. You can take it to a negative place, or you can take it to a positive place. But that's your choice. You know what I mean? So that was the whole concept behind that album. So
that's cool.
It was. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, one of the misconceptions, I guess, I think what I pick up on with rap music is that people who don't listen to it probably just think it is just full of bad language, violence, drugs, and whatever. Obviously, there is a lot more to it than that. What would you say to people, you know, to inspire them to listen to that kind of music if they haven't already, and if they are sort of a bit in two minds? Bit of a deep question. Sorry.
My thing is, you know, a lot of people don't open their mind up to other things. People are stuck in one place. People may hear me say like the devil, or may hear me say Satan, and might think I'm a Satan worshiper. But no, I'm not a devil worshiper. I just say things that most people are scared to say, that they're already thinking. You know what I mean? So that's the people who I try to reach to, because a lot of people come in and be like, Scan, you just don't know how much your music has helped me through this, or has helped me through that. You know what I mean? So, you know, I came up from a religious background. You know what I mean? You know, my grandmother and great grandmother, they drug me to church every time the church was open. Every day. And the church doors are always open. You know what I mean? So you know, I come from a religious background, so I had to search out like different religions, a whole lot of religions, Muslims, Catholics, Jews, this, that, did. I searched out a lot of them. So it's that's basically where I stand on this.
That's cool. No, that's a great answer to that. And you know, I've had a bit of that as well. Not, you know, persecution that some of the artists obviously received, but when I was listening to it, I mean, nobody could understand why I wanted to. They turned their nose up at it, and there was just something in there that really did speak to me. It was honest. You know, I think that's the big thing for me, is I am drawn to music that has a message and it's honest. It's not trying to.
Yes.
Like that. It's,
you know, it may come off evil, but it's not. I mean, you think God sends good-looking angels to fight His war? No. You know what I mean?
No, not like that. Not like that. Leave that to Hollywood, I think.
Exactly. Exactly.
So circle back to something we discussed at the beginning. So the crossover then between heavy metal and rap music. It followed that with me as well, I think, because I went from rap into metal. So, you know, unknowingly, I guess there was a link there. But around that time, there was obviously the new metal scene coming about. You know, bands like System of a Down were my biggest one back then. Where it's not strictly, you know, I wouldn't strictly. I mean, you know, I didn't class it as rap back then, but you listen to Serj Tankian. I mean, what he is doing, you know, the art he has, the spoken word, is pretty much the same. So you mentioned that you're into that as well. So when did you discover sort of metal, and did it come while you were making your own music, kind of thing?
Nah, I discovered that, man, back when I was like 12, 13, man. You know, I used to listen to Red Hot Chili Peppers, Nirvana.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Smashing Pumpkins. Yeah. You know, I used to listen to a lot of those cats, man. They started at an early age, man. Yeah, I love music, man. Whatever sounds good, man. You know, I love music.
Yeah.
And I just love music.
Cool. Have you had any opportunities to, because a lot of you know, rap and metal artists did come together and do some collaborations back along. Did you have any opportunities to do that, or would you like to do that? Is there anyone that you'd like to do that with as well?
I mean, well, we actually did, when I was with 3-6, we actually did a collaboration with Marilyn Manson.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I had the opportunity to meet him. You know what I mean? So cool. It was a good little thing.
That's very cool. I mean, if you're gonna do it with anyone, he's one of the best ones. You know, I've seen him. I've had been fortunate enough to see him live, and he's like, I like the showman. I'm very into Ghost. I'm very into Alice Cooper. You know, the real sort of theatrics. And that's cool. That's cool.
They entertain. They put on the show.
Yeah.
And you see why they sell out millions at a show. They entertain.
Yeah. Was that just on one song that you worked with him, or was it, you know?
That was just one song. Cool. One song.
Which one was that?
You know, I wasn't actually on that song.
Okay.
But well, I was with 3-6 at the time when we did the song with him.
That's
so
cool.
But I had a chance to meet him though.
That's very cool. If you were to have that opportunity again, is there anyone today who you would like to collaborate with from that scene?
Oh yeah, man, Marilyn Manson off the top. I just love his music.
Yeah,
Marilyn Manson off the top. I would love to do something with Sting.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, love Sting. Aaron, I love him.
Yeah. That was
he's a great writer. He's a great writer.
Yeah, very. I'm not going to say understated because they are huge.
Yes.
They were a little bit of a slow burner on me. I got into a few songs I wasn't really majorly into outside of those few songs that I liked, and then sort of later on discovered just how, once they got a few more albums, just how good they are. You know, and, they led me on to I don't know if you know a band called Hurt. They're quite similar to Stained and Seether and that kind of thing.
Exactly.
Very cool. I like that. Cool. So let's bring it a little bit more up to date then, sort of what you're doing now, because are you still making your own stuff? Because you've got your own label, which we'll discuss as well. Are you still active in sort of writing your own songs and producing your own, or is it more about sort of, you know, working with other people?
I would say both, because I just dropped 3 singles myself last month.
Cool.
So I just dropped 3 singles myself, and then I got a new compilation coming out with all my artists on there. That's coming out this month. I say the 20th. And so yeah, I'm still making music myself, and also I have a distribution company now as well too, Nephilum Distribution, for any artist looking for distribution and marketing and promotion and want to take control of your music. You know, go to nephilumdistribution.com and you can sign up today. Cool. We got good plans for artists, producers, labels, and all.
Yeah, so making the transition then, or is this something that you've been planning to do for a while, or did it just you just had that light bulb moment one day where you're like, actually, I want to, I want to do this for myself and others? When you decided to put your own sort of label and distribution together, when did that come about?
Well, actually, I started my own label with me and MC Mac, co-founder of Kamikaze, who was my business partner at first. We started Kamikaze back in 1999. So we ran that for about 10 years, and I say about 2010, that's when I started Nephilum Muzicc.
Okay.
And I would say about 2 years ago, I've had my distribution company in the making, but now it's officially up and running. I have about 60 people who I'm distributing right now.
Wow.
Pretty much a couple of cats from the UK too as well.
Oh, okay, cool. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. Well, if you got anywhere down, I'm way in the southwest, so I'll keep an eye on that, see sort of whereabouts you're coming, and that'd be cool. Get out there and see.
All right.
Yeah, awesome. So in terms of where can people, if people are interested, you referenced the website there. Where else can people find you if they want to follow what you do and Nephilum and that? I know you've got pages for the both. So yeah. Plug yourself, basically.
Well, you can go to my IG. You can follow me at ScanmanKKZ, and also you can go follow Nephilum Distribution. You can follow Nephilum_official and Nephilum Muzicc on IG, and on Facebook it's Nephilum Official and Nephilum Distribution and Scanman the Nephilum. And Twitter is scan_man KKZ, and also Nephilum Distribution under Twitter. And also go to nephilumdistribution.com for all apparel, for distribution, anything you need. We have everything: shoes, coats, fur coats, all
Very
that.
Cool. Very cool.
Not merch, apparel.
I saw that flashed up on my feed actually right before this, that you do high tops. I live in high tops.
Yeah,
that's very cool. That's very cool. Definitely be checking those out. But yeah, so it's everywhere. I can't encourage enough people to check out your music as well. What is on Spotify and what's out there, because even if you're not an avid follower of the scene, I really, really love listening to it. It's something that I was into, but I think I don't think you can not like it. I'm not just saying that because you're on there either. It is definitely music that speaks. I will say that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Cool. So
I would definitely keep it going. Keep it going.
Yeah, no, it'd be great to see what comes out of Nephilum as well as a whole, really. So the album you were talking about, so it's like a collaboration compilation album you got coming out. What was that called?
Yeah, it's Scanman presents Nephilum's Fallen Soldiers. So I have 3 artists on my label, 2 artists on my label right now. I have Big AOK, he's from Florida, and I got Mob Boss Hussein, he's from Texas, and I have a producer, S Fresh, he's from Ohio, and then I also have Total Chaos. So yeah, we ready to go. We filled up for this year. So our album, The Fallen Soldiers, that drops this month. I would say on the 21st, 22nd, around that time right there. Awesome. And make sure y'all go pick it up. It will be available on all major platforms.
Awesome. Definitely be checking that out myself. I'll put all the links out as well in the when I put the posts out, and when I put the notes underneath for the video and everything. I'll make sure I direct people your way. So
thank you, my brother. Thank you, my brother.
No worries. So in terms of just closing then, 2022, sounds busy already. I mean, have you got any other things in the pipeline that you'll be working on in the background that, we may see this year or next year or whatever? Or anything you can talk about?
You will see a lot this year. I just gave you a little bit. I got some other things in play. There's not fully locked down yet, so I can't really mention those right now.
Okay.
But the main things we got right now, I do have a documentary coming out as well.
Awesome. Cool.
Yeah, I do have a documentary coming out. I would say it will be out roughly, I would say April 1st of May.
Awesome. Is that
April
going to
1st.
be sort of online streaming, or is that out in, you know, like sort of theaters?
Yeah,
Like
it's gonna be online streaming as well. Yes.
Brilliant. So
Yes.
look forward to that. Cool. Well, listen, thank you so much for coming on. This has been a blast speaking to you, mate.
Man,
yeah.
Thank you.
No, my pleasure. I'll happily have you back on, you know, later in the year, next year, whatever, catch up, see what you're doing. And no, just, you know, all the best with everything. And
hey man, just hit me up and let me know when, I'll be here.
I will. Thank you very much. Scam Man on Dead Men Talk. Thank you so much, mate.
Peace. Nephilum.
If you enjoyed this episode, please take a moment to like, share, and hit the subscribe button. Also follow us on Facebook and Instagram to keep updated about all future shows.